Hello, people of the internet. I'm Nick from Motor City Magic, and today I'm going to show you my deck profile on Gem Knights for the August 2015 format, July 2015 ban list, whatever, I don't care. My friend has been trying to build a deck. I told him I'd help him out, so this is the version that I have. I'd love to hear thoughts and whatnot in the comment section below. I don't want any trolling, I don't want nonsense. I'm trying to make this deck as competitive as I can, because I might end up building it for the next ban list, depending on what gets hit, like Shaddolls and Nekroz and, you know, meta decks. But with the monster base, I've got 3 Garnet. He's the best normal beater you're going to find. And, you know, you need him for some of the fusions. Torlamine's at 2, because I'm running the 2 Amber. You could make it 3 Torlamine and 1 Amber, but I like 2 and 2, mainly because Brilliant Fusion. I like to send Obsidian with a normal and a Gemini, so he gets double value. If I have a second one in my hand, I have 2 targets instead of 1, which is great. And also, Amber is the best Gemini. Sarnix is okay, but I like Amber better. Mainly because you can banish your fusions to recycle Gem Knight Fusion, and then the Amber can put them back in the extra deck by pitching Gem Knight Fusion, which is awesome, because then it's essentially you have 2... you essentially have 2 of every fusion, or 3 of every fusion, depending on how many copies are in your specific extra deck. Anyway, we're going on to 3 copies of Obsidian. He's the second best effect Gem Knight. If you send from hand to grave, you can target a level 4 lower normal in your grave and summon it. So you can special summon out Garnet, Torlamine, Amber, or the one of Lapis that I run, which I'll go to in just a minute here. But he's just great for applying pressure, because if you fuse with him and an Amber, you summon out Prismora, and then you summon out Amber, blow up a card that they have, and recycle back your Gem Knight Fusion, which is hilarious. The best one is Lazuli by far. This set is from Sent to Grave by card effect. You can get one back to your hand. So it's awesome for the fact that it gets to front from deck when you use Brilliant Fusion. And you can add back, you know, the 8 targets that are in the deck. Plus, you can summon it, tribute it with Lady Diamond, summon out a Prismora, trigger its effect to add the card back to your hand that you want to use with Prismora, which just gives the deck so much versatility and allows it to go into really stupid plays. 1 Lapis, because Lady Lapis-Lazuli can OTK like no one's business, really. And it's also the fact that, you know, she's a normal that you can use with Obsidian and Lazuli. So that's it for the Gem Knights. On to the Gems. 3 Armadillo. You want the deck to be consistent as hell, so here you go. It can search out any of, what, the 15, 16 targets in the deck. And it lets you get into broken plays with Zirconia, since it is a rock. So yeah. I didn't mean to do that. 1 Gem Turtle. This is just to get Gem Knight Fusion if you don't have it, or Absorb Fusion. Also, it's a rock. And, does Amber say Gem Knight? Oh, if it's a gem, it would be broken. But yeah, you can just use it to recycle. And then 1 Rescue Rabbit, because sometimes you just need to go into a rank 4, and this helps you do it. And you can, like, summon 2 monsters, attack, dead main phase 2, fusion and stuff in defense, so you don't get blown up by stuff like Mirror Force or any stupid card like that. Rescue Rabbit's not $8. That's the monster lineup at 19. You could run more, but 19's perfectly fine for me. I haven't seen any real issues with it. For spells, 3 Gem Knight Fusion. I've considered cutting this down to 2, because I can get it basically whenever I want it. But I like having it at 3 just because I want to see it. And if I were to cut it out for 2, I'd probably just put in like a Compulse or something, or a Bottomless. But yeah, 3 Gem Knight Fusion, that's the core of the deck. 3 Absorb Fusion, this card's amazing. It's almost broken. I hate saying that word, but it is. It lets you go search any Gem Knight card, so it can search any of your monsters. It can search Gem Knight Fusion. And you can use the secondary effect to Fusion Summon. I'm sorry. You can use the secondary effect to Fusion Summon, but I don't recommend doing that because they get banished. Now, if they went to the graveyard, then it'd be amazing, but it's mainly just a +1. 3 copies of Brilliant Fusion. This is the card that lets you do stupid stuff. On turn 1, you can like summon an Armadillo, set a Decree, and then your next turn you can Brilliant Fusion and OTK your opponent, which is very easy to do in the deck. But it's basically Shaddolls Fusion, but the monster's attack and defense go to 0, and you can pitch a spell to give it back. So what you can do is you can pitch Gem Knight Fusion, 2 Brilliant Fusion, which allows you to make your monster big again. You have a Gem Knight Fusion in the grave that you can start recycling, which then Amber lets you get those cards that you banished back, so it's just a cycle of continuous value. And that's what I like about this deck, is it can be a very aggressive strategy, but it's also just a control deck that can just get card advantage and just beat your opponent with card advantage on normal monsters, which is why the strategy, I enjoy it so much. 1 Soul Charge, because it's Soul Charge. Your fusion monsters, don't say they have to be fusion summoned only. You can special them off Soul Charge, which makes them awesome. So yeah. 1 Raigeki, because you need board wipes, just in case your opponent tries to go wide. So yeah, Raigeki's Raigeki. 3 Upstarts, I want this deck to be consistent. So I have, what? I got basically 10 cards that let me search. And this is just a generic +1. You don't care about giving your opponent 1,000. You can usually OTK them the turn you use Upstart, and even if you can't, get through half of the damage, and then next turn go for game. But yeah, I just want the deck to be consistent, which is why I've got 3 Upstart Goblins. And then I'm manning 2 MST, and this is just for Fiendish Chain, and this is for stuff like Anti-Spell Fragrance, which that card basically kills you, so you kind of need the MSTs. Onto my traps, I'm running 3 Royal Decree. This deck, in my testing, I found that Mirror Force is really a pain in the dick. So this just says no Mirror Force, no Torrential, no Warning, none of that trash. And if they MST it, then that's an MST that isn't going to your Brilliant Fusion, or that isn't going to any of the other traps. And then 1 Warning, because it's Warning, and Vanities, because you can easily protect this. And it's basically an auto win if you can just let it stay on the field. That's it for the main deck. There's easily stuff you could run in here in place. Like you could run Fiendish Chain and Summoner Monk, but those cards are terrible in this deck because they don't advance the board state. With Royal Decree, if your opponent's got 5 back row and you flip Decree and they don't MST it, odds are all of them are traps and you're basically winning that turn anyway. So that's why I run it over Fiendish Chain, but if you disagree, run Fiendish Chain. On to the extra deck. I'm running 1 Lady Brilliant Diamond. I've never needed more than 1. I don't understand why people are running 2 of this in the extra deck. You only need 1, especially since Amber can put it back in your extra deck, so I don't really need more than 1. 1 Master Diamond, because if any of my Gem Knights die, I can easily copy their effects. And he can become a 4,000 beater that can get over towers like no one's business, which is fucking hilarious. Zirconia for the vanilla beater, I was running 2, but you only need 1. You can easily just OTK with 4 fusions in the deck, so you only need 1. I'm testing the 1 Gem Knight Ruby. What you can do with it is you can summon it in defense mode, summon an Amber through it, or what you can do is you can do Garnet and Obsidian, summon the Garnet off Obsidian, fuse into Citrine, use the effect of Obsidian to special out Garnet, tribute Garnet, target Citrine, and then boom, you're attacking for 4,100 and with Armades, which is fucking stupid. And also it has piercing, so Shaddoll, can kill themselves. I'm running 2 Prismora. I just like the ability to blow up Fiendish Chain and blow up opposing continuous cards that can be probably called the Haunted. Necro Valley is a real pain, so you can blow it up. I'm running 1 Lady Lapis Lazuli, because like I said earlier, she can OTK like no one's freaking business. Just spam the field with fusions. If your opponent went to the extra deck, you can hit them for like 4,000. I've never hit for more than 4,000, but when you hit for a good 25, 3,000, and then get through with a pumped up Citrine, they're basically dead. I don't know how they survive that. They're basically dead. And then 2 Citrine, because Armades effects are still awesome. My XCs are Emerald. 1, it's a rock, so I can use it for Zirconia. And also, it can either shuffle 3 back into the deck, or it can summon the 7 normal, or the 8 normals that are in the deck. So you can go for another rank 4 play, which is awesome. Exiton, because I hate my opponent's field and it needs to go down to fire. Castell, it's a staple. 101 is a staple. I like Ragnar Zero this format because Cleave Forts are still a thing and they can blow stuff up. It's really bad against Necros and BA, so you don't want to summon in that matchup. But it's amazing against, like, Cleave Fort decks. Yosenju's, it's amazing against Yosenju. You can just blow up their monster and then you don't have to deal with it. And then I'm running the one Anti-Luminescent Knight because you can switch targeting, which is awesome. So like if they break through skill your Lady Diamond, they're like, no, you're going to negate Anti-Luminescent Knight, which is amazing. But they can always choose to point the effect negation at Anti-Luminescent Knight. Or what you could do is, if they have a monster, you can just target their monster with it, and it's hilarious. That's it for the extra. You could run stuff like that Sephronite bitch, the one that takes the light, and run Denko Sekka. I don't want to do that because Decree is basically Denko Sekka. And I think Decree is better because if I summon Denko and they warning me, then I lose. But if I flip Decree, they can't warning any of my stuff. So that's why I've chosen Decree over Denko Sekka. Onto the side, one Thunder King. Necros can get you game 1, but when you summon this and you set like 3 or 4 cards, then they basically can't play, which is hilarious. 2 solo releases, Necros, BA, Shadal, nothing. 2 lands for the hero matchup and for the Asenju matchup because they're going to run a Raigeki and 2 Darkhold and nuke your field, so you can lance the Lady Brilliant Diamond to protect it. 3rd MST is for Cleafort and heavy back row decks like Asenju's. 3 Shadow Mirrors, I hate the Ancient All. Light Mirror is only for Satella Knights, really, but this just hits, you know, all the good dark decks, and I really need to beat them. This also can beat Cosmos, which is hilarious. You can beat Cosmos so easily. 2 Iron Wall, Ritual Beast, Infernoid, and Cosmo. And then 2 Mind Crush for basically 95% of the decks in the format. A lot of decks search, so you might as well do it. And you can always have a hand, because Gemini Fusion can recycle itself. You can just set your whole hand, leave Gemini Fusion in your hand. That way your Mind Crush is always live, which is a play that you want to do in the deck. But anyway, guys, that's my Gemini deck profile for August 2015. I want to hear what you think of it in the comment section below. Hopefully I'll show you guys some replays of the deck because this deck is really awesome. It could be tier 1 very soon. It all depends on like what can get abused with it. Anyway, I'm Nick from Motor City Magic. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.